But in the previous class, we have seen the preparation of alkynes. Alkynes have been prepared by elimination reaction following Sedgwick rule, elimination of dihalo compounds, dihaloalkanes, and dihydroxyalkanes. Similarly, removal of hydrogen, dehydrogenation of alkanes and alkenes, we got alkynes. So here we'll see some reactions of alkynes. As alkynes are unsaturated hydrocarbons, they undergo addition reactions similar to that of alkenes. We know in addition pi bond breaks and sigma bonds are remained. Normally bond broken is an exothermic reaction, so one or two more than molecules will be obtained. If we see addition of hydrogen, for addition of hydrogen we divide these into three categories. First, addition of hydrogen in the presence of metals like palladium, platinum or nickel. How we know when hydrogen is added, we get alkenes or alkanes. Next, in hydrogen we use a special catalyst that is called Lindlar's catalyst to convert alkyne to cis-alkene. In the third case, we add alkenes is reacted with sodium in liquid ammonia to form trans-alkene. You see the difference. In Lindlar's catalyst, using Lindlar's catalyst, we get cis, and when they react with sodium in liquid ammonia, we get a trans one. See the Lindlar's catalyst. Powdered barium sulfate coated with palladium and quinoline. Poisoned means less quantity of quinoline. H2 adds sin so that cis alkane is obtained. See here. Palladium partially poisoned here, poisoned, and it is reacting with sin condition. We get cis product if it is an alkyne. So what is Lindlar's catalyst? Powdered barium sulfate coated with palladium and quinoline is called Lindlar's catalyst. Next, hydrogenation in presence of sodium using liquid ammonia, we get a trans product here. Dry ice to keep ammonia liquid and we get a trans product. There we were getting cis product by using Lindlar's catalyst. So what is Lindlar's catalyst? Remember, barium sulfate coated with palladium and poisoned with quinoline is known as Lindlar's catalyst. What we are doing is we are using sodium and liquid ammonia. Here just if you see mechanism of this reaction, first electron is added. This is an alkyne, electron is added. We are getting radical anion, and this radical anion proton is added, and the addition of proton follows 2-3 steps and we get a trans product. Last product you see R and R at opposite side, diagonal side, this is a trans product. So we have to remember the difference. When using barium sulfate, palladium and quinoline, we are getting cis, and we are getting sodium and liquid ammonia, we are getting trans product. Similarly, addition of halogens. You add halogens, chlorine, bromine, add to alkene to form vinyl dihalides. We add syn or anti, so product is a mixture of cis or trans. There are two chances. The halogen may add towards syn, that means cis position, or trans position, and we get a mixture of trans. You know what is the mixture of trans? Cis and trans. Difficult to stop the reaction at dihalide level. So 4 halogen groups add here. Because dihalide becomes more reactive, hence there will be excess of bromine. It reacts and we form a single bonded product, that is alkane. So this is addition of halogen. We have seen addition of hydrogen and addition of halogen. Next, addition of HX. Hydrogen halide means hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide. Add to alkene to form vinyl halides. For terminal alkynes, Markovnikov's product is followed. Markovnikov's rule. You know, Markovnikov means negative part goes to that carbon with less number of hydrogens, and following that rule we get 2 types of products. That major product will be according to Markovnikov's rule, that is addition of HX. If peroxides are used, we know it is anti-Markovnikov's rule. That means the negative part goes to that carbon with more number of hydrogen. We are getting such product. Hydration, addition of water. How water is added? Aqueous sulfuric acid we take, mercurous sulfate. In aqueous sulfuric acid, HgSO4, H2SO4, both are added to one pi bond with a Markovnikov orientation, forming vinyl alcohol. Hydroboration, second is hydration, second is hydroboration is also hydration. Oxidation adds to water, anti-Markovnikov orientation, and we get an aldehyde here. So here ketone is obtained when we are using H2SO4 and HgSO4, and we are using hydroboration, we are getting aldehyde. That is the difference you have to remember here. Mechanism for addition is mercuric ion is electrophile, Hg+2. It is adding, just see the slide, it is added and we get a protonated hydronium ion there, H2O2 is added. Now enol form and we get a aldehyde when we are adding mercury, and this ketone is obtained when we are using mercuric and sulfuric acid. Enol to ketone in acid. Anyhow, we know that tautomerism, enol form converts to keto form, that is called keto-enol tautomerism. Remember this slide, you can take a photo. Hydroboration, the second one. Addition of water. Di-secondary borane called dicyl boranes. Bulky branched reagent add to at least hindered carbon. You see here, this is the carbon chain and it is multiplying. BH is obtained here. Then it is followed by oxidation. In presence of peroxide, we are getting this. Similarly, it undergoes keto-enol tautomerism. Next, if you see, we are having oxidation of alkynes. Similar oxidation like that of alkenes. If you are thorough in alkenes, you can go for alkynes also. So alkenes using neutral solution of KMnO4, isn't it? Diketone is obtained. So different types of oxidations are there. Warm basic KMnO4, neutral KMnO4, basic KMnO4, ozonolysis. These three are for oxidation. In hydration, we have seen two, using hydroboration and using mercuric sulfate and sulfuric acid. So let us see first KMnO4. Dilute solution, H2O2 neutral, we are getting diketone. Isn't it? Harsher condition, we use some potassium hydroxide also, we add to that and we get this product. Ozonolysis similarly that of double bond alkene, it also undergoes ozone at this position, but a bond will remain like this. So complete cleavage doesn't take place. We are getting one acid and two acids are obtained. This is also used to find out the position of triple bond in the alkene. So here this is the end of this chapter, that is alkynes. We have seen preparation and properties. In properties, oxidation, hydration, addition of HX, addition of hydrogen, they are very important. See the different topics, and this is the end of the topic, third topic, and we'll go for further topics in next classes. So do follow this and do subscribe to this channel and follow these notes.